What is up, YouTube? Time for another Q&A. As always, I'm going to be doing these straight off my phone just as we go. I really haven't even read more than like a quarter of them, so hopefully I'll give us some good questions. But if you didn't get your question in this time, be sure to keep an eye out both on my Instagram stories and on my YouTube community section. We'll be posting the prompt there to get questions in anytime we're going to do Q&As. So, we've gotten really good response on these so far, and we keep on getting more and more and more each time we do them. So, thank you for the interaction. Makes it a lot more fun for me. Without further ado, let's hop into this. This is a good one. Got a gym playlist you could share? Yes. So on Spotify, if you search Labrada Gym, it will bring up the gym playlist that we've been training to for like 2 or 3 years now. It's pretty damn long, and it's got a uh, heavy blend. It's got a blend of heavy metal. It's a lot of metal music, and then some rap and a little bit of like heavier electronic music. So if that's your jam, check it out. All right. Next up, favorite cheat meal. For a long time now, it's been burgers. The reason I like burgers is it's not like, eating a huge ass bowl of pasta or a pizza or, something else where I end up not getting enough protein. I get a burger with, 6 to 8 ounces of beef in it. Eat the burger with my cheese or bacon or whatever you may have it on, and I get fries with it. So, is it the cleanest meal ever? No. Is it a 10-pound, like, block of cheese that's going to stop me up for 2 days? No, it's not. It's a little bit more kind to my stomach. So, been doing burgers for a hot minute now for the cheat meals. They digest well. I really like them. Body hair in the off season. So, I think shaving and tanning are probably the two worst parts about bodybuilding, if we're being honest. So, what I do, and I'll give you 2 tips on this. If you're in the off season, don't shave unless you have to. I mean, I rock mine. I just have enough guest posings and appearances that I typically maintain some degree of shave downedness. But like after the Olympia, I didn't shave for like 10 weeks. I was Chewbacca. So I don't know. If it bugs you, shave. So I'll get to my second tip now. If you are gonna shave, whether it be all the time or just pre-contest or this or that, get a one blade, a Phillips one blade. So they are awesome. They get as close as a razor, like legit as close as a razor, but they don't actually cause irritation to the top of your skin. And especially for guys out there who aren't used to shaving all their bodies, it can save you the oh shit moment of being covered in razor burn and little bumps for your contest. So Phillips one blade, get one. Will that skull shirt be for sale? It's sick. I wear a lot of skulls, so I don't know. The one on the photo at the top. Oh, that's my buddy Kevin's brand, Iron Sanctuary. So if you like that shirt, go check out Iron Sanctuary. I also make a shirt with a skull on it, though. So if you want to support your boy, HunterLabrada.com. Hey, bro, fan from India. What's your opinion on Indian bodybuilders? I actually had the opportunity to go to India before I went pro. No, after I went pro, but before I competed as a pro, and it was an absolutely incredible experience. Basically, it was along the same lines of the experience I've had anytime I travel outside of the U.S. with regards to bodybuilding, and that is everyone is really into it, really awesome, really respectful, and huge fans. Um, the culture over there is definitely one where like masculinity is a big thing. So I definitely think the muscles play like a bigger cool factor over there. But as far as Indian bodybuilders specifically go, whenever I was over there, I met a lot of guys with some really great physiques. I know there are some really good bodybuilders over there. I think the biggest struggle that a lot of Indian bodybuilders face is that country is primarily vegetarian, or at least that's my understanding. So I know a lot of them, or at least me talking to the ones I came in contact with, sometimes struggle to get enough protein in. So that's my 2 cents on India. If you had to pick one exercise for the best quad development, what would it be? Um, if I had to pick one quad exercise, probably hack squats. As long as you have a good hack squat that's biomechanically acceptable to your body, it's not hurting you. I think, the ability to load the quad in addition to really get your knee out over your toe and get your quad into full flexion, I think it's the most effective compound. It really is kind of one of those, you're doing essentially the same thing on any, quad compound exercise, and that's, squatting, putting as much knee flexion in your knee as possible and getting the quad as long as possible, and then, having as much load on it as possible. So how many times can I say as possible? So it really is interchangeable. My personal preference would be the hack squat, but a pendulum is a great option. A leg press with your feet low, so you're getting good knee flexion, is a great option. Heel elevated safety bar squat. Really, I'm just wanting an exercise that I can load heavily and safely and get my knee out over my toe and really get as much quad flexion as possible, knee flexion as possible. This is a good one. Hey man, was wondering how long you'd run an off-season bulking program if you didn't have a show to worry about. So, for those of you that are in an extended off-season, I kind of have like a golden rule of the off-season, and that is never turn into a fat fuck and get over 12% body fat. Easier said than done, especially in the long off season. But all jokes aside, your body's going to grow best and be most responsive sub 12% body fat. It's also going to be easier to cut and get ready for a show and get in shape once that time does come, and you're going to feel a lot better and be a lot healthier. Extended off seasons are not an excuse to get fat, sloppy, and unhealthy. Extended off seasons are a time to put tissue on your body and to address the weaknesses that you had last time you were on stage, or for your first time on stage if you're headed towards your first show. So, don't rush your off season. Take your time, but do it right. I will say too, if you're like gonna be in like a never-ending off season, like you're planning on like 2 or 3 years or something like that, some mini cuts, like where you go from maybe 12% down to like 8% body fat or 6% body fat, like a decent diet with a decent deficit for 6 to 8 weeks here and there might not hurt to resensitize your body and just to give yourself a break from pounding food mentally. So keep that in mind. Okay. How do you incorporate mobility and stretching into your routine? Is there anything specific that you do every day? So, being my size and having some of the stuff that I have going on, especially with my shoulders, my body hurts if I don't stay on top of it. So, what do I mean by stay on top of it? Twice a week, I get tissue work, one upper body session, one lower body session, and then every single day, whether it's a training day or my off days, because on my off days I'm still in the gym, I will roll out and then sit with a lacrosse ball or a Theragun or something and really address my tight spots and issues. And then before I train, I'll do some corrective or like mobility exercises, if you will, like things that are not made to put on muscle tissue at all, but things that are made to like work stabilizing muscles, wake them up, stuff like that. So that's how I incorporate it. How long before your first working set do you take your pre-workout? Typically, I try to hit about that 30-minute mark. 30 minutes before I'm actually moving the weight around on my first exercise. So that's, rule of thumb ish for me. Do you have a firearm collection? And what are some of your favorite pieces? Um, I wouldn't call it a collection because I use the shit out of all of them, but yes, I do have a bunch of guns. um, what are some of my favorites? Right now, my favorite handgun that I own is probably a Zev OZ9, which is essentially a Glock 17 that Zev makes, but it's with the all steel frame and a different trigger. So really like that. And then as far as rifles go, would probably be a new SBR I just got. It's a 12.7 LWRC piston gun. So it's a suppressor host and it runs like a dream. So those are my two favorite guns right now. I want to ask you if you're doing a push workout, how many sets per body part in total, including warm up and main sets. So across the board, my training volume's pretty similar, and that is I'm in that 7 to 10 working sets per workout for each body part. And that is, the only exceptions to that rule will be arms, and my arm volumes at 4 working sets for biceps and then 4 working sets for triceps a week. keeping in mind that I do have an arm day, so they are receiving stimulation on my pull day and on my push day. But um, yeah, as far as warm up sets go, I don't count warm up sets. I only count my actual working sets on exercises. That being said, my warm up sets I do with the intention to waste as little energy as possible and to expend, as little output as possible. The only thing I'm using my warm up sets for are to get acclimated and comfortable for those working sets. I'm not wasting any energy. I'm not, doing 3 sets of 10 and then, full sending a top set to the moon. I'm just doing what I need to do to get comfortable with those working weights. So, my first exercise on a push day where, I have a wonky shoulder, I might do 4 or 5 warm up sets before I actually full send something. On a back day, 2 touches and then my third set, I'll be at a working set, get warm and go for it. So it's dependent on the day, but across the board, definitely like 7 to 10 sets per workout. Okay, here's a good one. What is the best supplement for liver health? There's a couple that are really, really important for liver health. The number one, though, in my book is TUDCA, TUDCA, and that's a Toro acid. I'm going to butcher the name trying to say it, but it is one of the best things that you can take to protect and improve and heal your liver. I can personally attest to it. My blood work with and without taking Sudka is pretty astonishing, the difference it makes. So that's a big one. And then one, it's more general organ support, but definitely, definitely, definitely helps your liver is N-acetylcysteine. Definitely take that every day as well. So those are the 2 big ones that I would say to make sure that are in your stack for your liver. Is pump more important than progressive overload? Came to the wrong YouTube channel, my friend. No, absolutely not. Progressive overload, in my opinion, is the main driver of hypertrophy. It's how I have trained for the last, I don't know, like 8 years, if you will. And it's how most of the guys that I know are training right now. I feel like there's definitely been a, steer towards, people dialing their form in a little more, really getting the most out of as little weight as possible, even though, a lot of me and my contemporaries are, very strong still. We're doing, those very strong lifts with perfect form, or at least a lot of us are now. So, yeah. All right. This is a good one. How do you manage strength loss on a cut? Do you try to progress no matter what? Um, So this is all dependent on what you're doing. But if you are, this is a bodybuilding channel. So if you're an enhanced athlete and you're like prepping for a show, there's no reason that your strength should be taking any dips until like the very end. Typically in past preps that I've had, my strength will either maintain or even improve, all the way to that 4 week out mark when I get lean enough that I need to start backing off things because I'll hurt myself. So I wouldn't use prep or a cut as an excuse for your training pound to just to take a hit. I really would fight tooth and nail to keep them because at the end of the day, we'll put it on, we'll keep it on. One more good one. Let's see. This is a good one. What is the difference between a bodybuilder versus a gym going person? Okay, gym going person lives a completely normal life, eats what they want when they want, and just makes relatively healthy choices. Maybe I know a ton of people that go to the gym that don't do anything healthy. They just enjoy going to the gym. They treat it as an activity. It's a hobby. They enjoy doing it. If you were a bodybuilder, whenever you were stepping in the gym with intention and a goal, and to couple with that intention and goal in the gym, when you're outside of the gym, you are eating in a certain way to fuel that goal. You are either following macros or a meal plan. You are conscious of what you're putting in your body. It's important to you. So that's my distinction between the two. But on that note, what if I told you that whoops, you can sign 20 new YouTube ads. Anyways, guys, appreciate you following along. You want to get your question answered? Keep an eye on the community section of my Instagram stories. Appreciate y'all as always.